Hello again. In this video, I will be providing an aggregate planning example. So we have this example for a company who's making skateboards. And what we did here, we have a forecast. So this company forecasted the demand for the 6 periods, 6 months, 6 weeks. And we have a total of 1,800 units that they're expecting to sell over these 6 periods. And in terms of the cost, the company defined the costs for the regular time would be $2 per skateboard, overtime $3 per skateboard, $6 for subcontractor. Inventory, it will cost them $1 per skateboard per period on average inventory. Back orders would be $5 per skateboard per period. Also, the planners for a company that makes several models of skateboard are about to prepare an aggregate plan that will cover 6 periods. They want to evaluate the plan that calls for a steady rate. So we have a steady rate of regular time output, mainly using inventory to absorb the uneven demand. So they're going to use this strategy to absorb demand, but allowing some backlogs. So this is one thing, they will allow backlogs. Overtime, subcontracting are not used because they want steady output. They intend to start with a zero inventory on hand in the first period. All right, so let's take a look into the information here. We have the period from 1 to 6. We have the total to be 1,800 units. And this is just adding these together. Now, in order to have a steady output, we divide that by 6 periods. So 1,800 divided by 6, that would be 300 units in every period. So that's the plan. We are planning to create 300 units every period. And that will give you a total of 1,800. Now, we decided not to have any of the part-time or overtime or subcontracting. So we only need the regular time. So we're going to cross that just to say, okay, this is not used. Now for this column right here, it would be all output minus the forecast. So output 300 minus the 200, that will leave you with extra 100 units. Same thing here, 100 units extra. For period 3, we're making 300 units. The demand is 300 units, so there is a 0 left over. For period 4, we're making 300, but the demand is 400, so we're short of 100. Same thing here for period 5, we're making 300, but the demand is 500. We're short of 200 units. Period 6, we're making 300. The demand is 200, so we're making a 100 units extra. Now, moving into the inventory. The inventory, we start with a 0, and now we need to count what would be the inventory by the end of that period. So looking into the output and the forecast, we made 300. However, we sold 200, so that would leave you with, by the end of that period, we'll leave you with a 100 units as in the inventory. Now, this 100, you will use it as a starting inventory for the next period. For the next period, period 2, we made 300. We sold 200, so there's a 100 units extra. So that will build up inventory. The inventory that by the end of period 2 will be 200. Period 3, we match the demand there, so there's no adding inventory. So we start with a 200, and that will leave you with a 200. Now moving into period 4, we made 300. The demand is 400, so we're short 100. We will take 100 from the inventory. That would leave you with 100 by the end of the period, reducing the inventory level from 200 at the beginning of period 4 to 100 at the end of that period. Now for period 5, we're going to start with 100 in the inventory. Let's take a look into what happened here. We have produced 300, we sold 500, or the demand is 500. We're short of 200. We have 100 to support that demand. So that would leave us with 100 units as a backlog. We'll keep that in mind. That will zero your inventory by the end of that period. Period 6 is a 0 and 0. There's nothing because we've made 300. The demand is 200. We made 100 units extra, but we are a backlog of 100, so that will give you 0 inventory by the end of period 6. Now, for the average inventory, we will use the previous period, which is 0, the previous period inventory, 0 plus the current inventory level, that will give you 50 units. So 100, 0 plus 100, that would be 100 divided by 2, that would be 50. Now for this one, for period 2, the average inventory would be 200 plus 100 divided by 2. Same thing, 200 plus 200 divided by 2, that will give you 200 average inventory. 100 plus 200, that would be 300 divided by 2, that would be 150. 100 plus 0, that would be divided by 2, that would be 50. And there's a 0 here because we don't have any inventory. All right, so now, again, this is the 0 because of, let's do this here. Okay, adding the ending inventory for period 5 plus the ending inventory of period 6, that will give you a 0 divided by 2 will be equal to 0. The average overall for the inventory, adding these together, would be 600 units as an average inventory you have. Backlog, and we have only one backlog on period 5, which is going to be 100 units. So the total backlog is 100. And then now moving into the cost part of this aggregate planning, we have these costs given to us, $2, $3, $6, $1, and $5, based on the information, based on your experience in this company, how much will cost you to make one skateboard. You decided to do a $2 for regular time, $3 for overtime, $6 for subcontracting, $1 for inventory, and back orders would be $5. And starting with the first column, or first row here, it would be, we have made 300 units. Each unit will cost $2. That would be 600. Same thing here, 600. And then again, 600 here, 600 here. It's basically the output times the price, the regular price. Add these together, that will give you 3,600. Now we are decided not to go with part-time, overtime, or layoff, or hire. So these are, we're not going to use them. All right, now moving into inventory. The inventory will cost $1 for the average. So we go to the average inventory, which is 50 units here, times $1, that will give you 50. Then moving into the next period would be 150 times 1, 150, etc. So that will be the cost for inventory. Total is adding these together would be 600. Now for the back orders, each back order will cost you $5. We have 100 orders, 100 units as an order. So times 5, that would be 500. And now adding these together would be 500. So if you add one by one, the cost for each period would be 650 here, 750, 800, 750, 1,150, and $600. And add these together will give you the total cost for that would be 4,700. Same thing if you add these right here, it should give you the same answer of 400 and 2,000. Yeah, we forget to add this one here, that back order. So that's give you the same number of 4,700. All right. So I hope this is helpful. That's the end of this example. We will have a few more videos on this chapter, and I will see you on another video. Please let me know if you have any questions.